Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. We got a great episode for you today. We're going to talk a little Connor Price, power rankings, actual standings, and what I think about where we're at right now. Let's get into it. Connor Price's power rankings came out today. Say what you want about Connor, but when he puts out these rankings, it's electric. He does the write-ups. You love the write-ups. He's got a good system. He knows where his head's at and what his strengths are. He's been doing it for years, folks. He doesn't do it every week, doesn't do it every other week, not even every third week. But every now and then, you're going to get a little Connor P sprinkle, and that's what we all love, Parmesan. Number one in Connor's rankings, the Lake Show. No surprise here, this team's 6-2. I think you could take the 1 and 2, which he has is the Lake Show and I Fucked Your Mom, and interchange them right now. The Lake Show's team, I think, is set up better for the future. They're deep. He's got a great team. When Dak's healthy, that team is firing on all cylinders. Great team. I Fucked Your Mom has come in and really shaken up the league. A team we kind of wrote off there for a little bit. Cam Frost coming out of nowhere, and his team's playing well. His team's putting up numbers. The one thing you want to keep an eye out, Brian, with the Lake Show, that points against column. He is one of 2 teams with under 700 points against. So if he comes into an unlucky string of games where he's starting to see more people put up bigger numbers, we don't know what's going to happen. I love his team. I think the number 1 ranking is good. I think Cam at number 2 is good. I'm just saying, watch out. He's got, I think, 691 points against, not even over 700. But if it keeps going that way, he'll do fine. Number 3, Huey Lewis. No problem with this. He was right. My team's deep. They are deep. We've got numbers. We fucking had Chubb, Mixon, Herbert, J. Jeff, and fucking CeeDee Lamb all out in 1 week, and we still almost come out with a win. Did we win? No. But we're back in the winning column now. Big win over Elker. Back to my 100-point scoring. We've got Chubb back. Herbert's over the bye. J. Jeff's over the bye. All my guys are over the bye. And Deebo Samuel. Everybody was writing off Deebo Samuel, too. He's averaging like 17 a week. That guy's for real. Luke's belly rolls. I stand by my take that this team's a fraud. I know they're 6-2. I know they're on a 4-game winning streak. They've only given up 650 points or whatever it is. When he starts going up against the burn of his schedule in this back half, starts getting dinged for 100, 110, 120, that team's going down. We know Stilling's recipe for success. If that team that he's playing doesn't score over 75 points, that's a game he can maybe win. But if they score over 75 points, 75 to 80, that team's done on a regular week. Fire Goodell coming in at 5. Say what you want about Connor. I said earlier, he's always optimistic about his team. His team's 4-4. I like where they're headed. This is my 50% dark horse, is Fire Goodell. They're my 50% dark horse because this team could make a late run here and possibly get into the playoff position. I like where he's at, sitting at that number 6 spot right now in the ESPN rankings. Just gets him in the playoffs. I like where he's at. Number 6, let my Cameron go. I still like Joe's team. Number 5 in the ESPN rankings right now. I still like his team. They've scaled back a little bit, just like my team did. They caught a little bit of the injury bug. It happens. Go through buys, things happen, but we're past that now. Look out for these next 2 weeks for Joe, and even for myself, sitting at 5-3. These next 2 weeks are going to be crucial. Keep an eye out. Keeping it real, what do you even say about this team? 4-4 right now. They were supposed to be, up there this year. It's just not a great team. I like what he's been able to do with some of his transactions and the waiver wires and stuff like that. They might squeak into the playoffs as a 6, maybe a 5, depending on how this back half of the year goes. But Keeks, fuck, man. This is the first real time we've seen a chink in the armor of Luke Kosiano, and it's not looking good. Pardon my team. Ethan's found a way to claw his way back into this fucking league. I don't know how it's happening. He's sitting at 9th in the ESPN rankings right now, 8th in the Connor's Power rankings, sitting at 3-5. Do I think this team makes the playoffs? Absolutely not. But good for Ethan to get out of the basement so he doesn't have to run a dip mile. That's all you. I've been in that mode before last year, and the 2 years prior to that, where you start off so bad and all you want to do is win a couple games and get out of the basement. He's done that. This is a legacy year for Ethan because he wins 2 championships. How does he respond to adversity and starting out as badly as he did? Well, we're about to find out. 3-5 right now. I don't think they make the playoffs, but they could make a push for that middle ground. Number 9 in Connor's Power rankings. Pam was holding Jim back. Trey. That's unfortunate. This team is done. This is my official. They're 4-4. They're in that 4-4 zone, actually sitting at 7th right now in the ESPN rankings. But this team's done. That's really all I have to say. Trey, you won't run the dip mile because you rattled off 4 good wins before. The only way you're running the dip mile is if some of these teams we're about to talk about next have miracle back halves of the year. You don't want to run a dip mile, but this team's done. I'm officially writing them off. Nope, Kobe's sitting at 10. McKinnis, your team fucking sucks. Connor was very accurate in his power rankings, putting you at 10. He was also accurate in the write-up. Which I think, sneaky though, McKinnis might get a lot better once he joins corporate America in his fantasy teams. We don't know. I mean, we've seen a lot from this kid. The dedication from McKinnis, people had questions in the beginning. Does he have what it takes? Does he have the cojones? And he has shown that he does. So when he takes that next step, doesn't have to worry about punting the football on Saturday anymore, what's it going to look like? Number 11, Big Baller Brand. I sent out a group me message at like 2 or 3 p.m. I'm sitting at the Browns-Steelers game. I'm checking my fantasy score with a break in the action, and I see, I don't even remember if I sent it Sunday or Thursday when Aaron Jones played, but Aaron Jones had 17, and I said, my team's fucked. We're going to lose another one. We're going to be 4-4. Not good. Elkert's team, besides that 17 points from Aaron Jones, scored 37 points total in all of his other players. 2-6. Not good. Elkert's in the battle. He's in the battle in the basement right now. Battle of the Bastards, battle in the basement. We've got a ginger versus a guy with a huge nose right now down at the bottom. Number 12, consensus pick, Margot's loin. We saw it coming. The Michael Thomas pick. You waste a 5th round pick on a guy who's out for the first 10, 11 weeks. That never really works out in your favor. People forget that he broke the banister, or whatever you call the railing, on that place. Somehow we didn't get charged for it, but the whole thing came clean off. Margot's loin. I will say this right now. This is the best case scenario for a dip mile. We've got, in the bottom 5 people, Margot's loin, Will, doesn't dip. Elkert might have dipped once or twice, but doesn't have it in him for a dip mile. Nope, Kobe hasn't dipped since senior year of high school, probably. Actually, probably later than that, but still, he hasn't in a while. Ethan Moran, he'll die. And then Keeks in that 8th spot. Keeks would actually... I think if there's one way that Keeks leads this league is with a dip mile. That's the only way. I don't hope it happens, but it's probably not going to happen. But if any of those 5 people got a dip mile, I would be thoroughly satisfied with my life. When I ran the dip mile, everybody was excited because it's the first time it was getting done. But I kind of knew in my own mind I'd be able to do it. I knew it was going to suck when you get to that 4th lap. And that was going to suck. But I could handle it because I was dipping at the time. These guys have no chance. And it's going to be hilarious to watch. Margot's loin is going to lose this league. Will called me Sunday on my way home from Pittsburgh to Cleveland. I was going to the Browns game. Will calls me. Talked to him on the phone for about 30 minutes. He was doing, we talked about the Browns, the Bears, UK basketball, UK football, everything. And in between each of those subjects, he tried to find another way to get himself out of the dip mile. He tried to convince me that he wanted to do the TikToks, the TikTok punishment. And I said, we're not going to do that because I know you would like that. That's something that he would enjoy doing because he's a loser. This guy would enjoy the TikTok punishment. We're not going to give it to him. We're not going to cave. Will, you're doing the dip mile. If you lose, try and get this team. You're only 1 game out of being out of the total basement right now. There's not a lot of separation there. You can do this. You can do this. And if you don't, you're running the dip mile. That's where we're at right now. Other than that, guys, we can go through season stats and stuff. There's not a lot to it. Huey Lewis in the news, #1 in point scoring. Stillings with 661. I think I said 651 earlier, but he's got 661 points against. Montgomery with 679 points against. The only two teams with less than 700 points against. Both sitting there at second rank, third rank. Like I said, watch out. But right now, our playoff picture is those top six. Fucked Your Mom and the Lake Show getting buys. Stillings and Luke's Belly Rolls going up against Fire Dell, me versus Joe is where we sit right now. If the playoffs were to happen right now, that's a good playoffs. That's a lot of new teams with a chance to win a championship that haven't had it before. Will the Lake Show prevail and finally win the big one? Will Huey Lewis in the news perform maybe the most miraculous recovery in fantasy football history after going 0 for last year, coming back and winning a title? Could it happen? It could. I Fucked Your Mom. Could he get a title? All these teams. Chandler is the only one in the top six right now who's won a title. And I see him dropping out. So let's see if we can get another one of these teams in here who hasn't won a title, and then we have a fresh winner. This is a great year for fantasy football. Everybody's doing great. There have been no violations or anything. One thing I do want to remind everybody, November 19th at 3 a.m. is the trade deadline. Keep that in mind. Last year, everybody was a little bit freaked out about when the trade deadline happened. I checked it last night, sent it in the group me because I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. November 19th at 3 a.m. trade deadline. So if you've got any trades, get them out now. I'm open for business. I've got a couple untouchable guys. Will reached out to me for a running back. I said, Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb, I'm not getting rid of them. And they never responded to me. So I guess he doesn't want another one of my running backs. That is what it is. Myles Gaskin projected 11.5 a week right now. Don't know what he's doing. I'm open for business. Let's talk. Week 9 coming up. Week 9 starting. There'll be another Commissioner's Corner Thursday to preview the week. A little Thursday night football action before it happens. We're going to get done. That's Commissioner's Corner. I'm your commissioner. Let's have a good week, everybody.